Hello, I am Michael Please Know, and I am playing GraPhoMaTa. And I figured I would do just a video of me reacting to the game because it's in the feedback forum on TIG, and I figured I would just record my thoughts live. My first note is that it went to full screen mode without asking me. It just, like, I clicked on it and there was like a first test, and I did the first challenge, and it just said full screen. It just did it on its own. That was sort of annoying. I don't mind keeping it in a window or having it. I like to have my little bar at the top unless I say, hey, here we go. So I did the first level. There's a lot of stuff on these screens that I sort of filter out. I mean, I get the idea that A1 this is like the level overworld, which, I'm an abstract guy. I like abstract stuff, so this makes sense to me as a level overworld kind of thing. But it might make sense to label things over here, and then sort of it's not very connected visually, right? So levels is up here in the upper left. So that it's unclear. I mean, I know you already have a lot of lines and stuff, but maybe even something where I'm trying to think of a good design to try and make it clear, because I mean, it's clear levels is labeled for the left, but it's just a little offset, and then A2 link, it just doesn't seem clear. Well, and then I filter out sort of the NL2 question mark commands, question mark cycles, question mark score. Right. I mean, I get the idea that that's sort of your best, because that's your best one. Commands, cycles, modification, score. That doesn't. Again, I can figure it out when I think about it, but when I just go into sort of brain dead, I'm playing a game mode. When I scan through all this, it isn't clear, and then there's these stats and a trophy, which I guess you're saying the 7 is a hotkey. So let me just try hitting the 7 key. So yeah, 7 is a hotkey for that. Which I'm not sure how many times I'm going to use the hotkey 7 to see the stats. Well, does this only work if I hit 7 here? It doesn't do anything. It only does stuff on this screen, which is kind of an odd. Achievements. Right. Again, just the way this scans is unlocked 1. What is unlocked? Is that an records? Is it a record or achievement? It's just I don't know what just happened there with the little things popping off. I don't know why there was that little animation there. And then what is this? Collect keywords, end sub. I don't know what this means. Collected 2 keywords. I don't know what that means. I guess these are the achievements. I'm clicking over them. Again, I have to sort of connect the dots between almost there, and then I have to look over here that's, because when it first pops up, I see non-zero. It's unclear, right? And then there's a hover too. Non-zero, solve a level. Non-zero, solve a level. I'm not sure what the best solution to this menu design is, but it's a little confusing. Records. I mean, I'm starting to get, see, and then it slides. So the menu, it slides horizontally. It's a And then I do stats go down, but then when I hit back, it slides up instead of back. And then I do settings. Settings slides down. That's interesting. There's a graphics quality? That's it. Graphics quality turns off the gradients? That's kind of a weird. Although I kind of like, I don't know. Full screen on, full screen. Okay. So I can turn full screen off. I just have to do that manually. Editor tooltips on, reset. Okay, that was pretty clear. All right, let me do level 2. So just let me play level 1. A1 node. You will. So this is. I mean, it's sort of the whole format of this almost looks like a PowerPoint presentation. Colors and placement of nodes do not matter. So this was pretty clear instruction. This was a good thing. Dragging nodes with the mouse does not change as I click next or back. Next to proceed. So yeah, at this point, next. So yeah, again, this is sort of. At this point, how would I have even gotten here if I hadn't clicked next or pressed space? Okay. I'm just parsing this information in a weird order because I'm just not used to this layout of just menus. And then it's even here, it says space or enter to go to next page. What's this key for back? Tab to go to previous page. Right, so one thing that so you've got all these arrows for different menus and they're moving in directions. It might make sense to just have the arrow keys. Right arrow moves you play, right arrow moves you right, left arrow moves you left, kind of a thing. Because you've got this spatial metaphor of your menus. Start moves you right, so you could sort of maybe even center these and make these just arrows on the left, and just make it clear that you use the arrow keys to arrow keys and buttons. That might be nice. I'm just pitching ideas here. Oh wait, no. So I skipped a. So let me do A2, right? So unlocked worker. See, and this is sort of confusing in terms of unlocked worker and then B, and it with the graphic here is a little worker B. To use the worker, drag B to a command in the editing area, right? So we're separating B name and B command. The first time I played this all just kind of was soup to me. It didn't even make it through because it was just so. I didn't get it. It was very abstract. To set the direction after executing command, e.g. right, either click the marked area or drag the command. Okay, so yeah, I figured this out by trial and error. Gold, build a basic structure. Unlocked. So it's just, there's a lot of, you switch. See, unlocked worker B, and then we go, just the ordering of things is a little, then there's another unlocked here, link AB, and then we've got A on a node, B on a node. It's a lot of switching between symbols and words, and it's probably consistent, but it's just the way everything is structured. It kind of goes over my head really at first, just in terms of a simple scan of everything. Goal, build a basic structure. Right, so we've said build a basic structure here, and then I say the next page, goal, build a basic structure with this icon. So, we repeated build a basic structure a couple of times. And what happens if I hit home? It just goes back to the overworld. screen. But yeah, so one of the things, I mean, between this menu and this menu, there's a small color change. That could be made different, like a bigger color change. Just to say, like, we are in A2. Just to make it clear where this is the A2 lobby kind of screen. And then this is A2 page 2. It's kind of weird. And then, so this is the actual level, which I solved it this way. And it took me a lot of fidgeting. Like, I didn't, even with all those instructions, I didn't understand the idea of drag. This took me a while to figure out that I could drag a letter to replace a letter. I guess I can link A to link. So yeah, at first I was confused by the idea of dragging something to replace this. You could even do a level where it's sort of create node B. It's just you have to create a B, and it might have made more sense to just do that, or maybe a little video of it happening. I'm not sure. I don't know what this 3 is. Cost. Number of commands. So, I don't know what that is. Oh, that's the entry point. Interesting. Well, so yeah, it's interesting. The number of commands went down when I went up here, which I assume is because only 2 commands are reached. But it might make sense that, to highlight what the path is going to be, just so that, like if we could make these a little brighter or something, so that it's just, I know, because clearly it's testing, it's already telling me, these 3 are going to be executed. So anyway, I'll run it, and so that, I got that one, I figured that one out. So workers hide, workers show, equals comparing equals success. Goals, structures are identical. Output. It's just the equal sign. It's just, it's hard to put my finger on what makes this difficult to parse, but I mean, I understand there's a lot of information coming through and it's kind of a technical game, but it's just visually I have a tough time kind of understanding intuitively what's going on. Right, and then there's this. Score 120. Players, commands. So this is the high score of all the people who have done this, I assume. I don't know what cycles means, and there's no tooltip there. Cost 3. Cycles. So that, I still don't understand what this is. Oh, in terms of, maybe that'll make sense later. Alright. A3, chain. So, right, this is interactive, which is kind of interesting. I don't know, something about these bullets makes me think that the bullets should be interactive somehow. I don't know why. It's weird, just the visual language. There needs to be some sort of a, I mean, I guess you're sort of doing it where each button has a sort of this black outline, and each, it just, to me, it isn't as clear what, because is the N, the L, the 2, those aren't interactive, but they have the outline, so, maybe these things that aren't interactive here shouldn't have the same outline as the things that can be interacted with. And I don't know. I could use more of a tell that tells me which things can be messed with. And apparently I can skip all over this. So I'm understanding the structure of the map, which is very, I guess circuitous is the right word. But let's do A3. So, okay, so there's basic, creating basic. So this assumes you know what basic is. Which I do. But, right, and then this is syntax error. Okay. Build a chain of 3 nodes. Okay, this makes sense to me, this node. See, that's kind of interesting. Again, these are interactive, but, it's only... I wouldn't have... There needs to be more visual kind of communication of what you can interact with versus what is a diagram. Like, chain is highlighted. Can I click chain? No. Goal is highlighted. Can I click goal? No. These nodes, I can definitely do them. So again, and here we go. Use, play, and... So these aren't interactive here, but these are interactive here. It's just confusing as to what is interactive versus what isn't interactive. Anyway, build a chain of 3 nodes. So wait a second, let me go back. So that's the goal. And that says error. So I thought, for a second, I thought the solution was in there. Alright, build a chain of 3 nodes. So wouldn't I need to have a node C in order for this to work? Like, aren't I going to need 3 node A redundant? Link A to B. Link B to A. I'm just sort of running this because wouldn't I need 3 different... Right, that's a fail. Of course that's a fail. But like, wouldn't I need a third... In order for this to work, wouldn't I need a third node? Build a chain of 3 nodes. So why is this redundant? I don't understand why this counts as redundant. This counts as redundant. Move A, move B. Right. And yet this doesn't count as redundant? So instead, it's not a node called A, it's worker A creates node A. So this is confused. So the syntax here is very weird. You've got node A, which means create a node and place worker A over it. Right? And then this is node B, which is create a node and place worker B over it. And then this is link the node of A to the node of B. So the nodes are nameless. I assumed the nodes would have names. I was confused by that. I thought worker A, it might help. I know this is a little less abstract and it'll take up more space, but it might help to give each one of the workers like a name like Steve and Fred and Stan and John or something. Like, so that, because A, B is a little abstract, so it might make sense to just, worker Betty, worker Sam, right? So that then, at least that way, You know, I, I can understand whether A is a node or a worker, right? And so then let me try this, which I don't know if this is even going to be right. No, that's wrong, so I can switch. Now I understand what, at least how it works. I can switch A to B, and that should fix it. That's really interesting. It's a little weird that I can change the. That's kind of strange. And then the success thing goes over here. That's odd. Okay. Am I the first person to beat this level? Alright, A4, extend. So turn 3 nodes chain into a 4-node chain. Tip keyboard shortcuts. So again, I probably wouldn't, I don't know, for some reason tip keyboard. You know, there needs to be something that separates tip. Select and drag a command, then click A, B. Shift A, B to set. So these are keyboard commands. Set the direction. Okay, arrow keys. Learn shortcuts. Additional shortcuts. Select cell N. Node A, L. Delete command X. Change. Okay. Okay. So I'm not sure. So I'm not sure how to move. Did I miss something? Left, output the register. Set worker, shift. Delete command, learn more. So do I have a command that just moves him? Because the nodes don't have names. Not started. If I do node A, it's going to create, right, creates a node and places worker A on it. And then if I link A to B, that should be a syntax error, right? Yeah, okay, so that's a syntax error, got that correctly. Because there is no worker B, so if I create a worker B, and then B is going to be a syntax error. Well, that's interesting, that's not a syntax error. So B will create a node and link it to A. Okay, well that's actually the solution. No. Alright, so the keyboard shortcut, let me hit the X key. Alright, well that was, that'll fix that. Right, yeah, like, so just to flip, like a double click might be a way to flip them. I'm not sure what these white dotted lines are in the level map. You know, again, to some extent, because the style is so consistent and so minimal, it actually is a little confusing. Because these A's, these grids over here, like I can't move them around, whereas this one I can move around. This is a different thing. So if these had some sort of a special, you know, maybe they were a different color or something. I'm not sure. These were triangles. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. Cycle. All right, play. Copy commands. Hold down control. Select mode control. I can't actually interact with these. These are just images. Okay. Build a cycle of 4 nodes. Alright, and I have worker C. So A. B. Link A to B. Right, I get the idea that this is trying to teach me to copy a segment, because what I want to do is repeat this. So I have to hit Control. Oh, okay. I can just. So I want to execute this just to see what happens. I think this is going to create a chain. Right. So I can't move. So it would be. Yeah, this is the. So I want to move. How do I? What's the? Is there just a delete? Okay. Alright, and then X is the key here. And then I want to create a new node with A. And then link. No, that's not right. New node with A. I want to create a new node with B. And then the problem is that I have to leave a worker on the beginning one. Error because A isn't. Right. Well, let's just run this and see. C, B, A to B. Alright, A to B. We want B to C. C, B, A to B, B to C. New one with B. X here. And then we just need a link from whatever the last one is to the C to A or something like that. C to B is what I wanted. Bingo. Well, so this is an interesting. Let me do one more. Beat the score. Let me do... Oh, C. There's a C overflow. Too many structures with too many nodes. What does that mean? Well, let's... Overflow. Tip multiple. Change the starting point. Right, I figured that out on my own. Turn to this collect commands. This makes it easier to... Score is not affected by commands. Too large... Build a too large structure. Commands are arranged in a cycle so they get executed repeatedly. Goal to build a structure with 250 nodes. Oh, I like that. Error is a success. Story of my life. Alright, so we want to make a loop. Why is this? Alright, A, node A. This shouldn't be too difficult. Node B. This actually should be pretty easy. Node B, link A, B, node A, node B, link A, B. Do loop. Okay, that's cool. Loop. Alright, I like loops. If a loop shouldn't be to A, B, A, B, A, B. This should... They don't have to be all connected for this to be... you know, it's not... They didn't say build a giant structure and everything's connected, right? So this should work. This should be a successful solution. I have to get 250. Let's speed this up, baby. Yeah, baby. To quote the famous donkey. Hey, that was cool. So this is kind of a cool programming doohickey. Any structure with too many nodes. All right. Ah, interesting. So this is, this has been done faster. Now I'm curious. I wonder whether I could do it with just one node A. Don't I need to have at least two? I have to have at least two. Actually, I wonder whether I can just do... Will this work? Oh, no. Wait a second. Let me see if... It already may run out of memory. So that's good, right? It's already telling me that that's an error. Yeah, so this is another solution that's a little bit faster. A little bit less interesting. Well, how come I don't have the solution? I have to make 500 this time? That's an interesting question. I thought I had to make 250. Huh. Maybe I'm just confused. What does this do? Color, toggles colors, and rotate. Oh, okay. Right, yeah, so the color is cute, but does it mean anything? I don't know. That's kind of cool to play with. Alright. So that's the optimal solution that everyone's... Alright. So why isn't B4 unlocked? I'm not sure why... What does the dotted white line mean in the structure? And then why... I'm not sure. Alright, I'll do a B. Join. Unlocked. Workers can join each other. Oh, okay, so send a worker to another worker. Alright, I figure that out. Walk. Wait a second, let me go back. Did you explain what walk was? walk. Move a worker A from its node across an outgoing link. If there's no outgoing link from the node, worker A will move home. What is home? There are multiple outgoing. One will be selected arbitrarily. Worker A. Drag this. Turn 4 nodes into a cycle. So move, join. Let me just see what this does. Okay, moves home, so it moves off. Let me just X this one. Right, okay, that's, I want to move, and then walk. Walk should move it to the next one, but I want this to walk be B, just because I felt like it. Walk, another walk B, and another walk B, and then link B to A. Done. Game blouses. First one to do that one, apparently. Okay, so yeah, apparently to get to C2, I'm curious about what C2 is at this point, so let me do B2. Double link, right? Let's see, how long have I been recording for? It's been about a half hour. So, non-determinate. Nodes can have more than one outgoing link if there are several options. One of them is an effective way to handle it is to avoid them if possible. Right, got that. Got that. Understood. Yokai. Alright, so we want to walk. We want to join B to A. X. Walk A, just because it's easier to walk A. Link B to A. X. There's probably a way I can make this with a loop. Walk A. Error. Link this. Actually, I did this opposite of X. And then we want to walk B, walk A, link A to B. So no. We want to walk A, walk B, link. No. We want to walk. Wait a second. Oh, okay. There's non-determinism. Right. So that's interesting. Interesting question. Because if we walk. Well, that would be kind of bad if the only way to beat this is to like play it until it just randomly gets the right answer. that would be brutal. If you just have to run it a certain number of times until the random number generator gets it right. That would just be. I mean, you could make a puzzle where the only solution would be that, probably, right? But that would be brutal to force the player to just hope that the non-determinism resolves itself correctly. So I've got a... So what I want to do, I think I have to get it... Right. So, yes, I understand now. I want to walk A, walk A, walk A, walk A. So get walk A to the end. Actually, let's join, and then walk A, and then link, and then join AB, and something like that. Let me just see where we are after this happens. Walk, 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 join, walk, link, walk. So, right, that's dead end. That can't be done. So that's incorrect. I mean, I want to... So, right, what I want to do is walk A, or is join, walk, walk, link, I want to repeat this. Join, walk, join, walk, oh no, because that won't... Huh. Well, this one's complicated. Because if I thought I need to go to the end in order to solve this, but as soon as I go to the end, then I lose access to all the earlier nodes, so it can't be that I move to the end first. But as soon as I link back, then the non-determinism kicks in. So do I just have to run this a gazillion times? Until... Interesting. It always seems to resolve the same way. I thought it was non-deterministic, but it never seems to randomly choose to move forward. So I'm gonna need C in here, apparently. So, join... Alright. Okay. C is the answer. Okay. Join. C A. C is the leader. That's the way this works. Walk C. C saves the position of one ahead. Walk C. And then we can link A to B. And then we can walk. And then we can link C to link C to A, and then no, we can't link C to A. First we walk, oh my goodness, this is a disaster. We walk B, or we join B to C. Link. So now we move B to C, and then we walk C, then we join B to A. No, we link B to A. Sorry. And we join A to C, and we walk C, then we link A to B, we join A with C. This probably isn't the most efficient. Oh, no. We don't join A to C, we don't even need to do this. And then we just link C to A. There you go. It couldn't be more simple. Okay, well, so this is a clever little coding game. I have a friend who's making a coding game, and I just wanted, I'm kind of curious about games that are sort of about kind of the fun of writing code. So this was a really interesting project, and I think it's got a lot of potential. I think the abstraction was a little off-putting at the beginning. Once I started to kind of parse things out and understand it a little bit more, it became fun. It's sort of like a Zactronics kind of thing. I actually like this a little bit more than something like an Opus Magnum, which I guess is a high praise because Opus Magnum is considered to be great, but I found it to be a little tedious. So this was a little more interesting. It sort of reminds me of my college algorithms kind of homework. So cool project, and I hope this feedback was helpful. I don't know if you even watched the whole thing. It's almost an hour's worth of playtime, so that should give you a really good sense of what it looks like to play. And if you are someone who is not the developer who's watching this. The link to the game is in the description. It's it's called GraPhoMaTa, and it's on itch.io. So I will post a link in the description to the video, and thanks for stopping by.